you work late, chart late, come home and chart all night, that's a problem.
It's very difficult.
Hey guys, and welcome to Little Black Book. Little Black Book, you know what time it is. Listen, guys, we're back with a brand new show. I wanted to kick it off with the season premiere of, obviously, Married to the Medicine. You guys have been requesting this up since last season. I am so sad that I didn't get into the show earlier. Guys, if you're new to the channel, make sure you like, share, subscribe. For those of you who are returnees, you have got the minerals! Okay, the minerals are not looking too minerals at the moment, but it's going to get there again. I've just been taking slackings, you get me? But listen, Agege, and are you mad? Are you mad? Are you lean? Listen.
They've almost been that couple that we kind of look to.
But the
fact that they've almost been made the perfect kind of couple. That was what was mentioned by one of the doctors. And they said, obviously, they're almost like the perfect couple. They're like the relationship goals. And I've always said this, you know, when you become a couple of relationship goals, there's an instant pressure to be perfect. And that's why I feel like sometimes as couples, as people in relationships, be transparent. Because the moment you become transparent with a huge thing, everyone's like, whoa, these guys are not perfect? What? And it's almost as if like you open up the floodgates now for everybody to think different stuff. It's like if you've been honest, look, guys, we fight sometimes and this is what happens. Like, we're not a perfect couple. Don't make us that couple. Like, do you know what I mean? So I knew that straight away, obviously, when they pointed them out to be the perfect couple, they obviously, it looks like they're the ones that are leading in their relationship. But, you know, what we saw from that was, you know, the struggle to get things together. And, you know, even at the, you know, the fact that, you know, at the end, you know, they were disputing the fact that, you know, while on the reunion from last season, that they had kind of almost, I would say, drifted apart, right? Because they got to a point where
last season's reunion, it all came to a head.
I filed for divorce.
To be honest, when you saw them at the end, you can see that everybody wanted to kind of support them, even though that they were about to go for a divorce because they were about to sign the papers. And one thing I would say is that, you know, Bible says the Zerskis had wise men around them, 7 of them. And it's so important to have people who care about your relationship, who genuinely want to see your relationship work. And I saw tears in the eyes of certain people. I was like, raw, like, this is deep. Like, people don't want them to break up. Do you know what I mean? And so that alone means that the advice they're going to give is to make sure that you guys are making it work. And so you see that with when Simone is talking to one of the girls in the corridor.
You want to work as hard as you can for your marriage. It's 21 years of wasted life.
At the end of the day, you guys have done this for 21 years and winning. I don't know anybody who's winning like y'all winning.
And she's saying, like, you want to make this work, like, da-da-da. And you even hear the guys talking to Cecil saying, you've done 21 years, we look up to you, kind of thing. Do you know what I'm saying? So instantly, you know straight away that this couple's respected because of, number one, their age and how long they've gone into marriage, but also as well, what's happening at the moment. So I think one of the things that Cecil actually mentioned was the fact that, you know, he feels like she stopped trying almost.
When we have a counseling session and Dr. Ken says that you guys need to go on a love date and Simone, I want you to plan it, and it still hasn't been planned, then she has to fight.
No!
Because when he said obviously that, you know, that they were meant to have a love date and she was meant to organize it and she has yet to do it, is to get, and he's saying, and I think he's mentioned it 1 or 2 times in the video where he's mentioned about the fact that she's not fighting. She's got to fight for them. He's fighting, doing his part, but he can't do so. He can only do so much. And I feel like sometimes in relationships that happens. You're struggling, you know, sometimes one-sidedly, almost it feels like, to actually get somewhere with the relationship. And listen, the Bible says, you know, how can 2 walk together unless they agree? And it's almost like as if you can't, and the Bible puts an illusion that do not be unequally unyoked. So it's like you can't put the yoke on 2 uneven oxen. You have to put it on. You have to put it on an oxen, yeah, that is of equal strength. And so when both people are fighting and tugging along, then it makes sure that obviously that both parties are kind of pulling their weight, you know, and that's what it means by being unyoked, when 2 parties are not pulling their weight, and only one is pulling their weight. And so I feel he was alluding to that.
When you work late, chart late, come home and chart all night, that's a problem.
You know, that, you know, she's spending a bit more time, that, you know, too much time, and, you know, she mentioned the fact that, you know, she's a doctor and
Being a doctor takes precedence over being a mother.
trying to get the balance and the flexibility right. You know, that she's between two homes, and it's not easy. You know, you're trying to make it work, but so it's not an easy thing. And I think obviously it's going to be interesting watching their particular relationship going forward as well. But again, really love the fact that from last season they made up, and you know everyone supported that as well. Is Toya and Dr. Eugene. I think it's quite interesting because Toya's got a bit of a mouth, and she's quite. When I say a bit of a mouth, I mean she says things that don't need to be said out loud.
This is just explaining to me why he masturbates.
And that's another thing. That's another thing. You ain't got to tell everybody our damn conversation either.
Well, now you know. At least you can say that.
I saw that on 1 or 2 instances.
Come on, when you start
You just told me that.
Boy, you better put that biscuit in your mouth and quit playing.
That kind of thing. You know what? Men's pride here. Maybe this guy is not saying it now. It's building. Eventually, he's gonna bite back. Like every time you try, it's almost like you're embarrassing him. Why do you shout out loud that he masturbates? Like he's trying to keep it on the low key. It's obviously evident he's not comfortable talking about it per se. So why are you mentioning it so loudly, so boldly, so someone else can actually hear? Like, do you know what I mean? And then she did something similar when I think they were having an argument again. When they were on the resort, I think they were having from last season on the resort or whatever. And she mentions about the fact, she says this, and it's like, yo, why are you mentioning like go have a biscuit, keep your mouth shut? It's like, raw, like you're gonna insult man in front of everybody here. It's like I know she loves her man, don't get twisted. I definitely know that, but when you embarrass him, yeah, listen, men have got pride, you know. Eventually we're gonna kick storm, and you don't want to see that. You know what I'm saying? Just because he's calm mannered, don't get it twisted. There's only so much man can take. Right, that he's wearing. She wears 2 different dresses, both white. It's intentional. It's what we call mirroring, and also it's about kind of she wants to always present this particular image. That's why they went into broadicity by going to not pay their taxes, because they were so concentrated. She was so concentrated on spending money that it got to a point they didn't realize they were not paying their taxes.
We have bills that need to be paid. We're behind on taxes.
Toya, y'all haven't been paying y'all
baby,
taxes?
at the end of the day.
And one thing I noticed as well is that, you know, he even said, oh, raw, like, you know, I think there was a scene where they were talking to one of their financial advisors, and he said, look, me personally, like, you know what, I'm willing to do whatever it takes to kind of get to where we need to get to. And it's like, it just shows again, I think he's a bit more low maintenance than she is. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's not a bad thing for her. I'm not saying she's a bad thing. I'm just saying that in terms of them two in a relationship, it shows that, it seems as if he's a bit more low maintenance than her. And so, like I said, but I have no doubt that she loves the guy because, like I said, when you begin to mirror the person, you want to present a certain image that both of you have. She loves that. That's why she keeps putting on these parties that are extravagant. But it also can point out to, what are you missing? Why is it you're always having to be the center of life by throwing off huge things? Why you got to mirror your man? It's like you're maybe overcompensating for something. And that's the only thing we need to find out in this season as well, whether she's overcompensating for something, you know, in that as well.
Curtis are 2 of my oldest friends.
You're cheating, Curtis. You can't cheat.
As long
Also, you know, I looked at Dr. Jackie and Curtis. I think this is one of my favorite ones when I watched it, because I think, do you know what? You know, I knew straight away there was going to be a problem, because when you talk about obviously getting the balance right in your relationship, but then also there's an immediate complaint about the fact that you don't know what spending quality time is. You come home and you're doing stuff rather than spending quality time with a person.
commitment to medicine and strife.
You walk in here on the phone. Come on now. And when you get off the phone, you're on the computer, you're charting, you're doing something else.
But I'm sitting right there by you when I'm charting. Like, there is something about that.
What about just relaxing, son?
What does that look like?
Then there's always going to be an issue, long run. But when you watch them in the beginning, their body language, he's putting his arm around her, you know, they're really quite close. You can see that obviously, look, bruv, there's a love there, there's a communication there, there's a partner in there, there's a support there, because his arm around her shows that he's supporting as well as protecting. Whereas you see with like Toya and Eugene, they sit side by side, meaning we're buddy or buddy. There's no difference between me and you. We're buddy or buddy. We go toe to toe. Do you understand? So it's different when you see that with Toya. With Dr. Jackie and Curtis. And the thing about quality time is, I've always said this, it requires focus. It's not a cheap one. You can't get away with it. Everything else, every other love language you can. Like, if we're going on holiday, so long as I book the holiday, we're there. So long as, obviously, if it goes to words of affirmation, I can say something, but I don't really mean it. You won't know. I can physical touch. I can come and hug you, and I'm not really feeling it anyway, but I'll do it. And then obviously I can do gifts. I can buy gifts for you, and my heart might not be in it, but I know what you like, so I'll buy it. Do you know what I'm saying? So with everything else, it doesn't require focus. With quality time conversations, it requires focus. It requires you to be present. It requires you to be in the moment. You can't decide to be out of that moment and doing something else.
But I'm sitting right there by you when I'm trying. Like, there is something about that.
What about just relaxing, Sam?
What does that look like?
It requires full focus, and that's the problem. That you can't cut a corner and go around it. You have to actually do it, and that's why quality time people with conversations suffer a lot, because everything else you can kind of do two things at once. But with quality time conversations, you cannot skip it. You cannot pretend. You cannot be half-hearted. It will show.
If we find that we're making each other miserable, and I'm not being the best helpmate I can be for Curtis, I think he deserves someone who makes him happy.
Might not be the helpmate that he needs. I can see him squirming. He does not want them to break up, yeah? He's never wanted them to break up. What he wants is change. And sometimes when you're wanting change, you're not sure how to change it. And so you get yourself to a place of stalemate where you're looking at what options we have. We've run out of answers. You've run out of answers to the questions that are coming at you thick and fast. So you're looking for solutions, but now you've run out of energy to look for solutions. What do? You stand still and say, I give up. I surrender. I surrender all to you. And you're surrendering because you're a rat in a cage. Like, I'm doomed. And so when she mentions about the fact that, he might need a different helpmate and someone who will make him actually genuinely happy, you can see his facial expressions. He's squirming. He's squirming because, like I said, he doesn't want that to happen. And so obviously it was natural. It's going to happen that, after they do whatever they do, they break up or whatever, that he goes off.
Would just see the pictures.
I could not believe my eyes.
Curtis has always been a role model. He kind of...
He betrayed the group.
Another girl. Why? Because it's all about feeding the love language bottle. There's a meter that's inside of you. If you don't feel the love language, then the person's going to be feeling a little bit empty, right? Because what they want is you. They want your quality time. They want your conversation. But you're not giving it. And so therefore what happens is the person is like feeling left out. They're feeling lost. They're feeling like, do you know what? I just need to get that filled. And they go outwardly. And so she said, and this is how I know that he was a good guy.
Curtis has always been a role model. He kind of...
He betrayed the group.
What? Why? Because he presents himself in a way that is, he loves his woman. Do I know that he loves his woman? Yes, because she mentions this. He's the only guy that has, he's a guy that loves me unconditionally.
Watching the one man who I knew loved me unconditionally to have made the decision that he made.
So you're getting a certain type of love from him. And why has he decided to leave now if his love is unconditional? Because it's not being returned. So for me, just looking at it from that point of view, I made a judgment that she contributed a lot to the fact that he's leaving, but has a lot of pride in her and is unwilling to say that it's her fault. Because even when she said, I felt embarrassed, I felt this, I felt that. You felt that for what? Both. When you're being told that spend quality time, you didn't want to spend quality time, you're now in this position because you didn't do that thing. Work became more important. Do you know what I'm saying? Your career became more important. Not saying you shouldn't have a career, but you shouldn't focus so much on a career that you neglect your family. Do you get what I'm saying? Well, we got Quad and Dr. Gregory did a newlyweds. I don't know if I'm excited for Quad or not quite excited. The first kind of interest we get is that she's just boasting about her.
Hey, babe. He didn't just go to no rinky-dink, honey. You better catch University of Chicago. How many people do you know that's graduated from University of Chicago and do? Right. Not very many.
Like, how many people do you know that have gone to Chicago University? It's like, yo, chillax, man. You know what I'm saying? Because when you do that, what happens is you invite pressure. Oh, she's always talking about Amanda's this, that. And then people just be like, bruh. And then people have only negative things to say because human beings were naturally like that. We're evil. Our flesh is dark, cuz. You know what I'm saying? Like, we struggle to be happy with people because we're like, I want to be where you are. We compare our relationship to somebody else. And so if you're always saying to, you bring up your man like this, blah, blah, blah. People can't wait to go, he fell. She was always chatting about how great he was. Look, she's in the same boat as us. And it can be a little bit annoying, just a little bit. You see that obviously she has a dedicated in, you know, drive to build her own career. And I guess the sticky point for them is really just the baby. The fact that, you know, he doesn't want to have a baby. Gregory. Is it Gregory? Yeah, Gregory doesn't want to have a baby. But I see the reason why she doesn't have a baby. His immaturity.
For you to sit before me and call me a buddy is utterly disrespectful.
Hey, you see?
He fell out from the seat and started rolling on the floor. What were you doing, son? Fam, what were you expecting? What are you doing? What's going on? Why are you rolling on the floor? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, stuff like that just makes me think, this guy's not serious about it. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're not really serious about what you're asking. You're asking for a kid, and yet you're not serious about what you're actually doing. You're lying on the floor, and she's crying now. Because you know what I mean? I just think to myself, it's a bit mad. So if, you know, having decorum in a relationship is so important. And having respect for the other person is so important. You want a kid, okay, you said it, but she says she's not ready for it. Alright, cool. Just keep on, you know, keep on monitoring the situation. And that's why you have to have that conversation before you get into a relationship, before you get married, because you can't get married and now you're having that conversation. So when are we having kids? You should already have that answer already, so that we know what plan will do it. Do you get what I'm saying?
You're leaving medicine.
Yes, like, I feel happy. You know, I feel like I'm making the right decision. I'm ready to roll.
That's a sacrifice. And it has to be done willingly. And I think in this generation, especially 2019, where women and men have equal opportunity, are educated equally as well, it's not a simple thing of just quitting your job and becoming a mum. So, you know, hats off to her. I want to see how that's going to work out in a relationship. Will that breed, you know, resentment and discontent, because obviously you're now no longer being fulfilled by your career, but you have to be fulfilled with your kids, which is also, kids are fine, but obviously career is your career. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes you're going to be stimulated in a different way. You're going to be stimulated intellectually, and sometimes that can't happen when, you know, you're becoming a stay-at-home mum. So yeah, I want to see how that plays out for them too as well.
Especially with Mariah.
Yes, babe, honey, she's here. What's the tea, babe?
And I guess it was the last kind of thing, looking at obviously Maria and Dr. Aydin as well, because I feel like obviously with Maria, like, she's a forced captain of the ship. Like, why is she just always forcing to be the captain of the ship? Like, babe, relax, calm down, you know? But people like her, I always find myself like wondering, what's their story? What is it that's driving you to always try to draw people's attention? What's driving you that you're being rude to people? And that you're not being genuine with people? Because that's not a genuine behavior. But what she's doing is over the top, purposely being over the top. It's intentional. It's always to create a certain buzz and a hype around you, but that's not your natural flavor. And so, you know, because there are people with that natural personality, but what she's doing is actually not natural. It's forced. And everybody's seeing that and everybody's feeling that in the group. So she's great for TV, for us to watch. But in terms of actually, you know, in terms of actually looking at the actual behaviors within a group, you wouldn't want that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you wouldn't want that.
The nucleus of all the women. And what I want, I get it. And because she felt like she was our leader, she wanted us to kiss the ring.
No, there's your truth. Thank you. You damn right. You damn right. And I will not come off my chariot and throw tomatoes with you, sweetheart.
Because that person makes everybody feel uneasy and always on edge. We don't want that in a group. People that have that behavior like that are oftentimes got the hardest background. They've gone through so much, but are unwilling to share that with people, so they act out instead of actually letting people in. It's easier to build up those walls and move mad and let everybody think that you're mad, when really actually what you're doing, you're a little girl crying out for somebody to care about you, you know? And that's often what it is emotionally. And so what you see is, obviously there's a scene where the girls are talking and the people are the girls are crying in the reunion part. Sorry, not reunion, on the beach. And you know, she decides to come off that high horse.
Shared a secret that softened our hearts. It's okay to fight for your marriage. You don't know no explanation to nobody.
Infidelity has come up in my marriage, just like everybody else.
But she was also talking about every single time, high horse, high horse, high horse. It's like, what is this high horse that you're talking about? Like, you're so classy that you can't come down. And it's like, bro, you create a division between yourself and other people. You create a classist system between yourself. You create a chasm between you and yourself. And when you fall, there's no stopping your fall, because people are just going to keep on passing you down to fall even further. We don't care about you. So you have to think of that. Be careful about what actions you present. So, but then she did something where she obviously shared, you know, the fact that she'd been cheated on as well in her marriage. And I guess that made everybody, I guess, endear to her, because it's like, hey, this girl's not on her high horse no more. She's like us. You see? So when you do things that are outside of the social norms of a group, you look odd. And in this case, she was odd. And there was no need for her to do the way she went. So, yeah, guys. Yeah, so it's going to be interesting watching the next few episodes. I want to see where Maria fits in, and you know, they've got the girl code coming up and everything like that as well.
This season on Married to Medicine,
We have girlfriend codes. Don't tell lies.
I don't do
Next few episodes, so I'm waiting to get on this. I can't wait to kind of break down relationships and stuff. So yeah, guys, make sure you like, share, subscribe if you're new to the channel. For those who are returnees, you already know what time it is. Little black bug, you know what time it is. You ain't got the minerals. You ain't got the minerals. Yeah, yeah.